Good afternoon. I'd like to say that I'm thankful to Amit for having me here. I'm going to talk largely about my own experiences and the, if I may say, the struggle or the issues that I have faced in doing what I'm doing right now. I must also say that I work for an institution which has its own name. We also have a brand. But I must say that I'm lucky because the foundation or the solid base in both my institutions, previous and this one, MBA and Lucknow, I've been very lucky and fortunate to have had such an illustrious predecessor, and Dr. Preetham Singh, who created the base for me in both these institutions where I could start with a little more confidence than otherwise I would have. So I'm thankful, always grateful because I always consider him as my mentor. What we have been trying to do at IIM Lucknow is many things, and yet there is a overall connecting theme. I'm not going to make any formal presentation because I believe blabbering around brings the more true picture of yourself rather than putting things in a formal presentation. We just completed 28 years. We achieved quite a bit in many ways, and yet we have achieved very little. We are now debating and telling to ourselves that it's time that we set our sights on a different trajectory where we take this our commitment of excellence through growth and greater engagement of different stakeholders. Our vision is, of course, produce leaders of tomorrow who will change things around them in organizations and in societies. And for that, we have always believed that you need to do things that others are doing. One way to differentiate is that you do them differently, as they say in the market, or you try to bring in something new as part of your teaching learning processes and knowledge creation and dissemination that you are in the business of. So we've always believed that at IIM Lucknow, we want to be known as the institution of excellence globally. Then we need to be in the forefront of creating knowledge that at the end of the day will have impact on the practice, and of course we should be integrated globally at all levels: faculty, students, curriculum, and of course all of the things that we do. And for that, what is needed is that, especially in our kind of organizations like the IIMs, where democracy is of an extreme, form, where if I have 85 faculty, then there are 86 views. Then to have each one of them buying into what we, not only I think, but what we collectively think and then move forward is always a challenge, but it's exciting. So, we have always debated and said that, look, there are few things that there will be no compromise on, no matter what, no matter who it is. Everybody is bigger than the director in our kind of situation, but nobody is bigger than the organization. An organization stands for something. And there we said that, look, of course, having defined that we are in the business of creating excellence in management education, then we said we need to have 2 or 3 core values. The core values, of course, we believe in excellence, and this excellence has to be achieved at all levels with integrity and humility, because IIMs are often accused, or at least the IIM graduates are often accused that, look, these guys get bloated in no time, and I think this is one value that we have been reinforcing at all levels, and I'm proud to say that somehow, somewhere we are succeeding. In terms of growth, we have done quite a bit. We have grown many folds. In 8 years, 6-7 times. We have grown in terms of size of our PGP, which we wanted to grow. We had already grown quite a bit, and then came the new, let's say, intervention in terms of, expanding, given the philosophy of access, excellence, and expansion. So we had to increase intake by 55% in one go over 3 years. So we now have, I must say, the largest intake in our MBA program is 425 plus. We don't want to keep it at 420, but exactly it is 418 to be precise, but we take more than that. In the last 7-8 years, we started quite a few new programs. We added a program in agribusiness management, then we added 2 more programs. One is the PGPX, the International Program in Management for Executives, and the another one being the Working Managers Program running out of Noida. Then, of course, expanded our PhD program quite a bit. IIMs are basically faculty-driven institutions. It is the faculty which takes charge of all the academic processes, including governance to some extent or great extent. And therefore, getting them involved, selling an idea, getting them involved, debating, I think it's an exciting process, but I must say, as against some of the perception that people had, that IIMs seems rigid in terms of they are not nimble-footed, they don't move fast enough, but I think I must say that we have done that. We have done that and done that quite successfully, and I think it's all because of the faculty support. We have created a resource base, which is the envy of the system right now. We have by far the best possible facilities, 2 campuses, a 20-acre campus. Again, thanks to Dr. Preetham Singh, he had the vision to visualize that we should go for a second campus, and I kind of, took upon that, and we have now done that. We have created 300,000 square feet of space with a convention center to about a 1,400-seater, and we have launched new programs. And I must say that our PGPX program, fortunately, is doing very well. Of course, accreditation, we have done that. One, we are in the process of another one. We are the first one to be given a 5-year accreditation by AMBA, and we are moving there. Our revenues are at par with the oldest and the largest institutions. If you had minus the adjustment for fee, we also believe that I've always believed that as business schools, if you are a management institution, you should be seen to be managing yourself well in the first place, because otherwise, what management will you preach? And there I think we have done quite a bit in terms of putting robust processes, systems, cost management, revenue enhancement, and today we have the luxury of the kind of resources that we have, highest technology in the entire IM system. Revenues touching about 120 crores now, from 17, 18 crores or less than 20 crores than when I took over. And we have funded the Noida campus entirely on our own. And that is when we believe that IIMs have to be conscious of the fact that India, in spite of the fact that we are known as somewhat elitist institutions, we need to have the concern that everybody cannot afford the cost, and therefore not only that you need to make your admission need blind and irrespective of whether you have resources or not, and we make sure that happens, but also we have believed that we should not increase fee as often as some others do. And I have always maintained the lowest fee in the system. And our fee right now is at a level, and we've decided we will not increase it as long as we can help it. Because otherwise it starts sending a very wrong kind of a signal. Now, I think for any institution you will have here a lot of experiences of private, public institutions, but we are a public institution, and therefore the governance issues and the governance paradigm is of a very different kind in our kind of system, where in governance, faculty gets involved, alumni gets involved, and as I said, academic processes are 100% owned and evolved by faculty. And of course, now the government has allowed us to change our memorandum of association. They're saying you can have all the autonomy that you need. I thought we already had a lot of autonomy, but now they're saying you can have as much of autonomy as you want, as long as you open yourself to public scrutiny and greater accountability. And it is in this direction that IIMs will be, for the first time, some of us will be going through a process of peer review in terms of, are we doing what we are supposed to be doing? Are we in line with our mission, or we have drifted? We are very proud of our processes in terms of whether it's admission, whether our academic processes, and I can say, I can vouch here that in my 8.5 years, I haven't done one thing where it says I overturn or change the decision that my faculty took. Because that gives them the confidence, that gives them the freedom to do things, and that gives them the courage to take new initiatives and take decisions. We always say we can all make mistakes as long as mistakes are of judgment and not of intent. And then only you grow, and that's the reason we have added new programs, we have added new activities. Now, our impact has grown, our research has grown, and for the first time now we have A-star and A publications that we are very proud. We have put a lot of processes in place where we believe that for faculty involvement to grow, they also participate not only in the academic processes but also in the financial well-being as well as the administrative or board level processes. And it is there that we have, now we have, I can very proudly say, that everything that one needs to know is there in a structured format. Everybody knows what are the do's and don'ts, what is due to me and what is not due to me. I remember when I joined, there used to be a lot of requests coming to me for different things, and within 6 months they dropped by 90%, and today they have dropped by 99% because everybody knows. And therefore, I always say that if you are doing this, if you want to do something, you want to use institutional resources, then ask that question. If you were sitting there, will you approve of that or will you look at it? And people have started using that judgment, and I think administratively our job has reduced to an extent that if you look at it administratively, I don't spend more than 2 hours a day in clearing papers and doing other things. But that is because everybody else takes responsibility. I always say, in our system, bureaucracy starts with me and ends with me. There is no other bureaucracy. Everybody, and we have an office which is open access. Nobody has to go. Even a peon doesn't have to go through a PA. People just walk in. I think in some ways, I'm not saying that anything great about some of these things, but I think the only thing I look at it that it maybe increases people's involvement. So for future, we are looking at, it's not brand. We started Noida because we wanted to leverage and strengthen brand I Am Lucknow. It was not either with a view that we wanted to do more activities and wanted to earn more revenues. And to that extent, because we realized that there was a challenge to attract faculty, there was a challenge to work closely with international partners and multilateral agencies in the policy side, and we thought presence in Delhi will help, and I think I must say that that has certainly helped. So in future we are looking at to be truly a universal school with some deal of global impact. We are not saying that we are going global in terms of setting up another center, which is quite within the realm of reality now and might happen sooner than later, but our idea is to grow, to consolidate our gains, and as I said, move to a higher trajectory where we are known, international, we are internationally better known, we have a greater alumni engagement, and we strengthen our our brand, I Am Lucknow, because today, as I said, we have the liberty of doing what we can do because of the resource base and the faculty base that we have. We have not had, we are also outside the government grant system now for the last few years, and it has worked well. So the challenge for the entire IIM system today is that it's not about, as Professor Saxena was saying, producing a set of graduates who will get into investment banking or FMCG marketing, but to produce people who will have a heart, who will have, of course, who will be, I always tell my students, look, success you will get, CEOs you will become, money you will have, and sometimes you will have difficulty counting it. But the point is, what next? And I think that is the kind of challenge that IIMs face. That is the kind of challenge that our MBA programs face, because this whole issue about what is it that we produce out of an MBA program. I think this, to me, this is a little misplaced, that somebody produces better finance executive or somebody produces better marketing executives. All of that is a bit of a myth. At the end of the day, the graduates that we get, they're fairly bright. We do some chiseling and value add, and they are bound to do well in life. So what more we can do to mold them, to help them to be leaders, and as if I may again use the term that Pritam Singh will often use the change maestros, who will change things around, who will lead from the front, and who will not only be successful in terms of, making more money and working for investment banks, but this society, this country needs, this country needs people of that kind, where they have greater societal concern, where they can engage more with different stakeholders. And IIM Lucknow, its own way, either through CSR initiatives or involving students at all levels and larger issues, we are doing our bit. As I said, we have achieved quite a bit, yet we have achieved very little. And we always believe that you need to keep running in order to stay there. And you don't compete with people around, you compete with yourself, and you raise your benchmarks, because you time yourself quietly and keep raising your benchmarks. So it is this vision we are moving forward in IIM Lucknow, and I am grateful to everyone who supports us, and of course our predecessors who have done so much for that institution. Thank you for giving me